We'll wait for 2 more minutes. We'll see if others are joining and we'll continue. You all see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start with the introduction part. So let me introduce, since we have more number of participants. I'll not be taking all of your introduction. So I'll just give my introduction and then we'll start the session. Okay. So myself, I'm Venu. I have around 18 years of experience into the field of HR. I started my career as HR executive for one of the manufacturing industries, where I gained the knowledge of all the HR portfolio. Then from there, I've moved to SAP HCM implementations. I was part of one of the biggest SAP HCM implementation in India. And then while I was in SAP HCM implementation and support, I got an opportunity to work on SuccessFactors for the same customer. So that's when I have upgraded my skill and moved to SuccessFactors. And it's been like almost 10 years that I'm into SuccessFactors. In this 10 years, I have handled different modules like Employee Central, Compensation, PMGM, and RCM. Though I've worked on all of these modules, since I've spent most of my time in the Employee Central and Compensation, I'm specialized in Employee Central and Compensation. So coming to teaching, I have a teaching experience from last, I can say 15 years or 12 to 13 years, not 15. I used to train on SAP HCM before coming to SuccessFactors, and after getting into SuccessFactors from last 7-8 years, I have training on SuccessFactors as well. I train on both Employee Central and Compensation, but this is the one what we are going to have today. This is purely on the Employee Central. Okay, so that's a quick intro about me. So let me go into the presentation mode. Okay, so let's have this session as an interactive session rather only me, talking or speaking much. Okay, so what do you know about SuccessFactors? Can somebody tell me what exactly is SuccessFactors and what do we do in SuccessFactors? I'll try to do this demo in a different way. Yeah, can somebody tell me what is a SuccessFactors? It can be anything. You can be wrong also, that's fine.
As per my understanding, SuccessFactor is related to employees. Like you can create employees, you can create jobs, you can create job templates, you can have the interview process align, right? So that's what my understanding is.
Okay, so SuccessFactors is used for employees of the organization, in short. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes.
As per your comment, I can say that SuccessFactors is used for employees of the organization. Yeah.
Yes.
What else can we do?
Hi, Venu.
Yeah, hi.
SuccessFactor is one kind of software. So in that software, we have multiple modules, and in SuccessFactor Employee Central, we are managing all the data related to the employee, like their salary, their attendance, and anything related to employee.
Exactly. You're spot on. Okay, SuccessFactors is a cloud computing application or a software which is used by the organizations to maintain or manage the employee data. Generally, in any organization, who manages the employee data? It is the HR who is going to do that, right? 80% of the data is maintained by HR and 20% of the data the employee is given option to manage, right? If I am an employee working for any organization, so I will be given access to the one of the HR applications, okay? SuccessFactors is also a HR application, so it can be SuccessFactors as well, where I log in as an employee. So all of my details are available in the system. So who has maintained this data? HR operations or HR team have maintained all of my information. That means they have hired me or they have added my details into the system. Okay, where I can go and see all of my information in different sections. Okay, every employee's data is split into different sections, like personal information, where we maintain the name of the candidate or name of the employee, gender, salutation, marital status. So you have all of this information. And then you have your education details. You have contact information, address information, previous experience. So all of these details are called the personal information. Now, as an employee, I can update my information. Let's say when I join an organization, my marital status is single, but after 6 months, I got married. So my marital status is changed. I can go and update that information in the system. At the time of joining, I am just a graduate. Now I have done my PG as well. So I can go update my education details. Okay, so I can update all of this information on my own because this is my personal information, employee's own information. So employee will be given access to update that. There would be some information which I can only view, like my salary, my compensation information, my employment details, like what grade I am in, what location I would be working in, what is my work schedule, and so on. So this information belongs to me, but I will not have access to edit. I cannot go and change my grade. I cannot go and change my salary, or I cannot go and change my designation. This is managed by HR. This is managed by HR. Initially, HR maintains all of this data. As an employee, I will have access to all of this information, my own information. To some extent, I will also have edit access. Okay, at the end of the month, I should go download my payslip. I should go check my salary, what has been credited. So what are my deductions? What are my earnings? I should be able to see that. But I will not have access to edit my salary details. Okay, now this is fine. The employee data is maintained. After 6 months or after 1 year, my performance is to be reviewed. Manager has to review my performance and recommend some salary increase. Or if there is any bonus which is to be paid quarterly, half yearly, or annual based on my performance. So system should allow that to managers, or employees should be filling their objectives, what they have achieved, what they have achieved in this year. So based on that, manager would be recommending some salary increase. Okay, so that is done in, again, compensation module. So performance of the employees is done through appraisal. The appraisals are done through performance and goals management. So we have different modules in SuccessFactors. So in overall, SuccessFactors is a HR application. We were calling it as HRIS system, Human Resource Information System. Later, because we have performance management for appraisals, we have compensation module for recommending the salary increases. We have learning module for assigning the learnings. We have talent modules like recruiting, onboarding, and so on. So after certain period, SuccessFactors have included all of these modules in it. And we started calling it as HCM, Human Capital Management, because it is giving us all of the information that is required for any organization. Throughout the employee life cycle, whatever are used or useful, all of them are included in the application. So we started calling it as Human Capital Management. Now, 10 years back, we were calling it as human capital management. But now in the recent days, it is all about how employees experiencing the application. So now we are calling it as human experience management, HXM. We call the SuccessFactors as a HXM suite, human experience management, how an employee experiences his life cycle in the organization. Okay, now SuccessFactors is a cloud computing HR software used by the small, medium, or large organizations. Now, SuccessFactors can be used for a small organization where you have only 100 employees. The smallest implementation that I have worked is for 100 employees. For one of the company who wanted to have the SuccessFactors application, it was only the Employee Central. Okay, so their headcount was 100 employees. And the biggest implementation in support that I have worked on is 27 to 30,000 employees. There are more number of employees as well. Like there are 1 lakh employees also where SuccessFactors is implemented for those customers, but I have not worked on. The maximum number of employees that I have worked on is 27 to 30,000 employees. Okay, now when you say SuccessFactors is a cloud computing application, what exactly is cloud computing? Can somebody tell me what is cloud computing?
Yeah, any software which is working on a web application, not in hard disk or memory.
You're close.
All your networkings and servers, you do not need to maintain. Instead, the cloud partner will just maintain it for you.
Exactly. Okay. Now, every application that you want to use needs some kind of storage space. Okay. Let's not get into SuccessFactors. First, let's talk about a small application that everybody uses in their mobiles. Okay. Now, everybody must be having a Gmail application, right? So what do we do with the Gmail? We send mails, we receive mails, we attach documents, we send them, or we receive them, we can download them. Okay. Now, every time you subscribe for a Gmail, Gmail gives you 15 GB of free space to you. Yes. What are we calling it? We're calling it as Google Drive. What is the use of Google Drive?
To store documents.
To store documents. So why cannot we store our documents in our local hard disk or in our local machines? What is the advantage? We can also store in our PCs.
Ease of access. I mean, like you can just access it anywhere. Yeah.
Yes. So when you store your data in Google Drive, you can access those files from any corner of the world. Tomorrow you're traveling to some other country and you're not carrying your laptop. You can still access the files that you have in your drive. Yes. Either you can access them in your mobile, or you can also you can log into Gmail from any PCs, and then you can open or download those files, or you can upload files from there as well. So that's the advantage of having the Google Drive, right? So where is this data getting stored? Now, if I'm uploading some files or some folders into the drive, it is getting stored somewhere and I'm accessing that, right? Where is it getting stored?
Cloud servers.
It is getting stored in the cloud servers. Okay. So the same concept is used for the HR applications or the SuccessFactors as well. Now, if you look at the definition, the practice of using network of remote servers hosted on internet to store, manage, and process the data rather than your local server. In earlier days, when we want to have a HR application, like if you take an example of SAP HR or SAP HCM, The first thing that we need is the infrastructure. So we were buying a server. Okay. Now we need to have a dedicated space for that server. And from that server, we have to connect all of our PCs through local area networks, through some cables. All of the data that we feed in our systems gets stored in that server. Okay, so somehow you need to connect to the server either through local area network or through VPN, and the data gets stored. Whatever data that you process in your system, it gets stored in that server. Okay, now in cloud computing, you will still need servers to store the data, but these servers are not hosted on premise. They are hosted, instead they are hosted on internet, from where we process or we manage the data. So every application needs the infrastructure. And then after having the infrastructure, the next thing that we need is the platform. The platform on which our application is built. You have your database, you have your servers. And I want to have one application developed. So I need to know what is the platform on which I want to build. Java, .NET, okay, SQL, or what is the platform that you want to use for your software. And the third is your application. What is that application that you want to use? Is it a gaming software? Is it a social networking software? Or is it a HR application? It is a finance application or material management. So what kind of software are you looking for? Now, any application that we use needs your infrastructure, platform, and application. The last is the application. So based on these three layers, cloud service models have been divided into three. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS. We call it IaaS. Second is platform as a service. Third is software as a service. Third is software as a service. Now, in the infrastructure as a service, customers who want to have only the infrastructure. Now, servers are very expensive. Instead of procuring servers, if customer want to go with subscription-based servers, then they go with IaaS, infrastructure as a service. And then second is platform. Again, we need to buy our own platform if I want to develop some software. So instead of buying, you can go choose the existing available software, subscription-based software platforms. And then third is your software as a service. Customers who doesn't want to have the infrastructure separately or platform separately and software separately, they go with the ready-made available products. SuccessFactors is one such product which comes up with all of that infrastructure, platform, and a software. Now, why customers across the globe are moving towards the cloud computing? 10 years back, we didn't have this concept of cloud computing, or 10, 15 years back, we didn't have this concept of cloud computing. Every company's or every organization's data was getting stored in their local servers. Now, slowly, people started moving, the organization started moving to cloud computing for all of their applications. And the HR related is one among that sort. Do I see this? 1 minute, let me see. I see some scratches on the screen. Okay, don't mind. Can you all still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are the advantages? Why customers are moving to cloud computing? The first and foremost is the productivity anywhere. Meaning, you can access the application from anywhere. So employee can be in India, okay, but an employee can access the system from US as well. We have customers in US, we are supporting them from India. We have customers in UK, we are supporting it from some other country. So the productivity anywhere. Anybody, now I can have the SuccessFactors application or the cloud computing application installed in my mobile. I can apply for a leave from my mobile. Managers can approve the leaves from their mobiles. I can take up some trainings on my mobile. So all of these are possible in the system. So that's why we call it the productivity anywhere. You don't have to go to office or you don't have to be in front of the system to do that. You can still access the applications. And then off-site data storage. We are not storing the data on-premise. So if you want to store your data on-premise, we need to have a dedicated space. We need to have a dedicated servers. We need to have a dedicated team to look after those servers. Somebody should be looking after them, connecting them, make sure it is up and running 24/7. So there is no requirement of all of these things. No IT maintenance cost. So you don't have to have a separate team to look after your servers. Disaster resistance. If something happens to your physical servers, it is your responsibility. As an organization, you will have to make sure the servers are up to date. Or if something happens, it is your responsibility to fix them. But in case of cloud computing, these servers are always up and running. You don't have to worry about any of the disasters. Lower cost of ownership, that's very important. So the amount that we spend on cloud computing applications are much less when compared to the on-premise applications. And these are easily upgraded. These applications are easily upgraded. Every application that we use in our daily life needs some kind of upgrades, right? Now, if you take an example of a WhatsApp application or a Facebook or a LinkedIn, or even the Naukri. So all of these applications are not the same what we see now in today's world. Now, today we can do a lot in WhatsApp. We can do a video call. We can share some pictures. We can send our location. You can now have a group chat. You can have a group call. So all of these were not possible when they started initially. Slowly, they have incorporated all of these new features into the product. How did they do? They've upgraded the application. If you go and look at the versions, you'll find version 6.0, 6.1, 7.0, 7.2, 7.5, and so on. So what are they doing? They're enhancing the application. And these cloud computing applications also gets upgraded. And when it comes to SuccessFactors gets updated once in 6 months or twice in a year. And we call it release management. There are many features which would be introduced by SAP in these releases. Apart from the new features or the new enhancements, they'll also fix if they have identified any of the issues. They fix those issues in release. Okay. So now what is SuccessFactors? SuccessFactors is a cloud-based human resource information system or human experience management system from SAP, which is designed to meet the enterprise class organizations. We have many modules in SuccessFactors. The core or the base being the Employee Central. Now, if you look at this picture, the base of the SuccessFactors is Employee Central. On top of it, we have different talent modules or reporting modules or the different modules. We have performance management, which is used for approvals. We have compensation module used for processing the bonuses, used for processing the salary increases.
So one quick question here. All these modules are interrelated to each other, or
Yes.
they has a dependency on each other, or how exactly it is?
Now, customers who want to have success factors, okay, for let's say every customer will have their own requirement. Okay. Now, if you look at this picture, what does it say? It says the base for all of these modules is Employee Central. And each of these modules can be implemented independently. Now, there are customers who are using SuccessFactors only for performance management, only for recruiting or onboarding, or only Employee Central, or only compensation. Or they can go with the combination of these modules, performance management and compensation and succession, learning and Employee Central, recruiting and onboarding. So it depends on customer to customer. We can have these modules implemented independently or as a whole.
So the pricing will vary then, right?
Pricing will vary, yes. Pricing
Understood.
will vary depending on the modules that they choose. So
Understood.
that's why you call it as a pay as you go. I
Correct,
want
correct,
to use SuccessFactors application only Employee Central, and I have 100 employees. So you have for X price. Now you have 1,000 employees, your X into 10. Okay, you'll be paying 10X. You're
Correct,
using
correct,
Employee Central and some other module, so you'll pay for that separately.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these modules are tightly integrated with each other. Now the data flows from one module to other module. So performance management, if customer is using performance management, they need employee data. For whom are you generating the appraisal template? Who is the manager of this employee? What department is this employee in? What are the objectives of this employee? What are the developments that are needed for this employee? So different data comes from different module. All of these developments, this come from learning module. All of the employees' personal information or employment information comes from Employee Central. Now, compensation, when you're doing the compensation or compensation module, you need the employee's performance appraisal rating. What is the rating of this employee? So that comes from appraisals, performance management. You need employees' basic salary or basic compensation details. All of this comes from Employee Central. So we process the data, we send it back to Employee Central again. The approved salary increases or the bonus goes back to Employee Central and then gets processed in the payroll mode. So all of these modules are tightly integrated so that the data flows from one module to other module. Okay. Now, what is SuccessFactors Employee Central? What can we do in SuccessFactors Employee Central? Employee Central is the core module where you manage and process the employee data. Employee record management. We maintain all employee information, be it personal, national ID information, biographical information, contact information, address information, education details, previous experiences, job relationships, employment information. So all of this information is maintained in Employee Central. And then the data is shared with the other modules for processing. Like compensation data is sent to payroll module. Basic data is sent to modules like performance management or learning management. The open positions are sent to recruiting module so that recruiters can source the candidates on those open positions. So employees logs into SuccessFactors, they use the data that is stored. So how employees able to log in or how a manager is able to log in. When a manager logs in, manager can see all of their direct reports data because this is maintained somewhere in Employee Central that this employee should be reporting to this manager. So this manager has got these many direct reports. So this data is maintained in Employee Central. Okay, the org management. This is an example of org management where you manage or maintain the hierarchy of the employees. Every employee in the organization should be reporting to one manager. Okay, when a manager should be reporting to other manager. The highest level would be your MD or CEO of the organization, who can have without the manager. But otherwise, every employee in the organization should have a parent position or a the higher level maintained. We call them supervisors or managers. Based on the supervisors or the manager hierarchy that we maintain, system shows you the org structure, the org chart, who is reporting to whom. Okay, so we do the SuccessFactors, the global coverage. We have the customers across the globe. We have SuccessFactors customers in US, SuccessFactors customer in Australia, Middle East, so all over the globe. And SuccessFactors is available in 47 different languages. Different countries use different languages. Now, if you go to China, Japan, there the language what they use is not English. Not every country uses English as the language. So SuccessFactors provides the systems in different languages. If you go to China, you will see SuccessFactors application in Chinese language. Now, if I am an employee of Japan, okay, I can switch my language to Japanese. I can see the system in English, I can see the system in Japanese as well. So when I open my system, I see system in my own language. So there are 47 languages that SuccessFactors supports. And we have the SuccessFactors implemented in more than 200 countries. SuccessFactors has been implemented for almost 10,000 customers across more than 10,000 customers across the globe. Okay. Now, a small example of how the data flows from one module to the other module. To give you an example, if a recruiter has to start sourcing a candidate, recruiter should know what are the open positions available in the organization. And these open positions are created in Employee Central. We maintain all of this data in Employee Central. As soon as an employee resigns or terminates or employee leaves the organization, there's a position which the employee was holding that becomes vacant. Recruiters finds that vacant position, converts that into a requisition, where all of the data from that position is sent to recruiting. Like, what is the designation of this position? What is the title? What is the job? What is the salary that can be offered to this candidate? What are the job responsibilities? So all of this information is maintained in Employee Central, which flows to recruiting. Recruiter sources the candidates, pulls the candidates. Candidate applies on the job. So recruiting or recruitment module saves some data of the candidates. And then the selected candidate would be offered. Once the candidate accepts the offer letter, again, candidate will be sent a link where he or she can go update all of their information. So this module is called onboarding. Just before hiring the candidate, so candidate is asked to update all of their information like medical details, their address details, their education details. All of these details are updated by the candidate. From onboarding, all of this data will move to Employee Central. On the day of hiring, HR will see all of the information. They'll just go, click on hire, submit the record, system generates the employee ID, and the employee is ready to start their work. Okay, so this is an example.
So can you go back to previous slide, please? Sorry.
Yes.
So when you say now, if I want to do anything regarding recruitment, like requisition, so you are saying that Employee Central data, like position data, need to be created first, which will flow to the requisition, which is the recruiting module.
Yes.
Right. So here,
Yes.
when you are saying Employee Central, so which module it is going to be? Because as per in your previous diagram, I saw the Employee Central was a whole set of what was that actually? There was something, one diagram you said. Yes. If I see in the black color in the bottom, it says an Employee Central.
Yeah.
But now, from where exactly that data is going to come? That I am not 100% clear with this slide.
This slide?
Yes, this one.
Employee
Central I am
Yeah.
assuming this is a collection of all the modules which is required for your the employee experience, right? So
Yes.
now position data, which exact module? I'm not
So
100% clear.
position data is part of Employee Central. I'll give you an example. So let's say you're a HR manager. Okay, we are now setting up an organization. Now we have hired you as a HR manager. So what would be your role? Your role is to find out how many employees are required. What would be the headcount in each department? Okay. Now we have, let's say, the organization, 1,000 employees organization. How many HRs as a HR manager, you should give your headcount, like how many employees you want to have in your department, right? Let's say in HR department, I want to have 10 HRs, 2 trainees, 4 HR executives, okay, 3 managers and a HR head. Let's say this is your hierarchy that you want to build. Okay. So these are the positions or these are the requirements for you in your department. Right? You go create all of these positions. So 3 positions of HR managers, 4 positions of HR executives, okay, 2 positions of HR trainees and so on. So you'll be creating all of them in system. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
There was a power cut, so I'm using extended system and I lost that.
Yeah, I think we can't see you. Your screen basically.
Give me a second. Can you see me? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see now.
Okay. Yeah. So you will have to have all of the positions. Now you have all of the positions maintained. So where are you maintaining? You're maintaining all of this position data in a module called Employee Central. Okay. Now these positions.
That is a separate module itself available.
Employee Central, yes. Employee Central is a separate module where you maintain all of the employees' master data. Now this is the starting point for any employee or any employee is your position. Okay. Now you have one vacant position. This vacant position is sent to recruiting. You're asking your recruiter to go source the candidate, get the candidates on this position. Okay. Now you will be interviewing. You will do the interviews and you will shortlist the candidate. You will negotiate with the candidate. You offer the candidate. Now in the process of recruiting, you must have collected some information from the candidate. Maybe let's say for one position you have 20 candidates who have applied. Okay, 10 of them got shortlisted in the first round, and then 10 you have left. Okay. So 10 shortlisted candidates, again, you have processed the interview and then you have finalized 2 or 3 people and then you offered 1 candidate. So in this process, the data that you have collected, all of this information is available in recruiting module. Candidates, like maybe through profile or maybe you have collected some kind of documents or some kind of information that is updated in recruiting module. At the time of hiring, now customers may or may not use onboarding module. So directly once the candidate is offered, candidate has accepted the offer letter, you can hire that candidate or you can update all of the candidates' information in the Employee Central in the hiring process. Once the candidate becomes an employee. Okay.
So let me, one more thing, just one thing. And now position data, if I understand, if there is a hiring manager, there is the recruiting manager. So those are the people which we are trying to create. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, understood. So now say, for example, I am a recruiter, you are my manager, I need your approval. So there might be some hiring manager also, like say, for example, this is a manufacturing unit or this is a telecom group. So they want to hire the person. So that manager approval is also needed. So those people I need to create in an Employee Central so that when I am creating a job requisition for specific position, I can assign them. Is it the correct understanding?
Yes, exactly. So
Okay,
how you are
understood.
maintaining that data? So you are also an employee of the organization. So your data must have been maintained by someone else.
Yes.
Okay. Now how you are calling a person as a recruiting manager or a hiring manager. So
Correct,
all
correct.
of this data is already maintained in the system and you have assigned different roles to different employees. You are a HR
Yes.
manager. You will be
Correct,
releasing the
correct.
offer. You are a recruiter. You will be sourcing the candidate. You are a hiring manager. You will be managing these
Understood.
people. So all of this data we maintain in Employee Central.
Understood. Okay. So that's why I was trying to understand when we say position data, is it a job position data in the sense like say I have application and all that thing? But I'm clear now. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So I'll give you, let me show you the SuccessFactors system, what we do. Okay, let me log into system.
Sure.
Okay, you'll see the SuccessFactors page.
No, I see some PDF document or something. I don't see. Yeah, now it's coming.
Can you see my screen now? The SuccessFactors page.
No, it's still, yeah, I can see now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No
Okay,
problem.
now I have logged into SuccessFactors application. This is called the home page, okay, or the landing page where everybody will see the same page with the wish like good morning. If it is in the morning, it shows good morning or a good afternoon or a good evening based on the timing that you have logged in. Okay, and then there are some actions which you may want to do. Let's say I want to go look at the org chart or look at my employee. Okay, now I can go click on my manage my team. So it shows up who are reporting to you and what is the action that you want to perform for your employees. Let's say I want to transfer one of my direct report, or I want to see how many employees I have in my under me. Okay, or maybe I want to do some performance appraisal to an employee. So I can go to these quick actions and do the actions quickly. Okay, now I want to look at the organization chart of the organization. So who is reporting to whom and what is the total count of the employees in my organization. So I can go and see the employee data. I can search for employees. Let's say I want to search for an employee, Mohan. Okay, go search for Mohan. So Mohan has got one direct report and there's one more employee under Mohan. So I can see the reporting structure like this. So let's say I want to have one of the company's managing director. Okay, I can see Nestle managing director has got one direct report and there are 11 indirect reports. That means there are 9 direct reports who are reporting to general manager, and I can see all of the data here. Okay, so I can go up and see who is reporting to whom. Okay, how many employees are there under each of the employee. Okay, so I can view the organization chart. This is my organization chart, org hierarchy. Okay, employee data. Now, if I want to look at the position org chart, how many positions we have, how many positions are filled. So I can go to position org chart and see here. This is one of the org position org chart where I can see that these are the number of positions that are vacant and these 2 positions are filled. You can see that the person has occupied this position. Okay,
Means
and rest
you
of
are
the positions are vacant.
so you are saying that we have to create the positions in a or first if we want to publish that job into the market or something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, recruiter will come to this position or chat and see what positions are available for hiring. Now, I cannot go and hire candidate on this position because this is already filled.
So
Just
this is
one
the
of one
first step.
FT.
This is the first step, or when this comes in a picture. First, we have to create a position and then create a job requisition, or
Yeah. For an employees, this is the first step. But for
okay,
a
okay.
consultant, for us, this is not the first step. We'll have to set up the system. Now, to create a position, you need details like what department you want to create the position in, what location you want to have this position in, or what company does this position belongs to. So you need to create that organization structure first. What is the company? Highest level will always be a company. Let's say I am implementing the SuccessFactors application for Reliance Industries. The company Reliance Industries. First thing that we would be doing is creating that company. And then under that company, how many locations they are operating from? They are operating from 100 different locations. So create all of those 100 locations. How many departments or what departments? Every organization will have their own departments. Manufacturing companies will have different departments. IT companies will have different departments. Pharma company will have different departments. So you go create all of those departments. Create the grades, create the job codes. Now you're setting up the system. You're setting up organization structure. You're setting up job structure. You're setting the pay structure. And once you have all of this, now what are the details that HR want to maintain while hiring the employee? So you design the screen where that screen is called the hiring screen. In the hiring screen, what all information you want to update? Now, what fields are mandatory? What fields are optional? Some companies will say that I want to have the first name and last name as mandatory fields. Every employee should have first and last name.
Correct. That's the configuration, right?
That's the
So
configuration what we will be doing. Yeah.
Right. So one last question from my side. I'm asking too much. So this configuration basically happens in a which kind of a language? Which let's say for example they give a code and then we do configuration. No,
SuccessFactors is a functional module and we don't do any kind of coding in the system.
Okay. Just
It is
you need to understand.
configurable. It is configurable in the system. Now, even if you want to do some kind of customizations, maybe you want to add some more fields, some one additional field. Yes, you can do it. Now, here it is showing up different fields. Okay, the position ID, the title of the position, and the company of the position. Tomorrow, customer says, now system is showing me companies. System is showing me the company of the position ID and position title. Along with this, I want to see what department this position is in. So I can go and add a position. I can go just add a department here. That's very simple. Okay. So let me quickly show you that how to do. Okay. Now we don't do any kind of coding, but there's no coding knowledge is required here.
Oh, that's good then. I was thinking that we have to do implementation, means do coding, changing, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Okay. Now, SuccessFactors gives you all of these functionalities. You just have to go enable what you want to have. Now, system is showing up code, position, title, and company. So these are the list of features what can be enabled, list of fields what can be enabled. Now, if I enable department and save it.
Okay. There may be some. There might be some only mandatory, some non-mandatory. Mandatory should be by default applicable. Understood. Okay, getting it.
Now it will stop showing the department as well, along with your company. Along with the company code, you will also see the department.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, that's simple. Now, SuccessFactors is easy to learn. Okay, some places where you may have to apply some logics. Okay, like there are many validations that can be done, many calculations that needs to be done. So all of these things can be again configured through front-end UI. You don't have to go to the coding part.
That's good.
If I want to look at the employee data, you just have to navigate to employee files where you can see all of the employees information. One single employee You can look at all the information in one single screen called people profile. We call this page as the people profile. The name of the employee, some basic information about the employee, different sections with different employee data, like personal information, you see some data, biographical information, you see some data, dependent information, education details, contact information. Now, different customers needs different data. So you would be configuring. Maybe some customer, you will not see all of these fields. You'll see certain fields which are mandatory, like first name, last name, this is mandatory. Some customers may say, I don't want to have display name, or I don't want to have middle name, or I want to call it as a, what do you call it? Surname. Okay, so you can change the labels, you can change the properties of the fields, you can hide some fields, you can enable some fields, you can add some sections into it, you can hide some sections into it. All of these things can be configured in the system.
Hello,
Got it.
Venu. Hello.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Like, suppose in one organization we have 500 or 1,000 employee data. So how we will configure this? Like, we should have some specific template to load data at once, or
yes, generally,
one by one we need to
let's say
update.
you are implementing for one of the customer who has got 1,000 employees. Okay.
Mhm.
So we can go manually add an employee, manually create a position, or manually create a department and so on. So these things can be done manually also. Okay. Now, when you have thousands of employees that are to be maintained, so it is very difficult to have them managed or to have them maintained manually. So we have option of uploading the employee data, or uploading the positions, or uploading any of the objects. I want to upgrade 100, upload 100 grades. Yes, you can. Employee data, you have 1,000 employees data. Okay. So you have all of the data maintained in an Excel, upload into the system. So before having them maintained, I need a template. So you can go to the screen, let's say import employee data. You can search for any action that you want to do using the quick. This is called the global search bar, where you can search for any action or search for any employee. I want to download a template. What do you want to download a template for? I want to have personal information. So you go select personal information. System will show mandatory fields here. Other than mandatory fields, if you want to add some more information as well, let's say gender also into my template, or full name into my template, you just add them fields and say generate template. It will download the template. Just maintain the data in it, then upload. Okay. Yeah, all of these things will be seeing in our regular sessions.
Okay,
Like,
so this is the process of downloading. So suppose if I need to update any name, or like by mistake I have given some gender like male or female. So how we can update that? Through the template only, or in system?
Now, in system, if it is for one single employee that you want to maintain, you can go to any employee. Let's say here I'm going to my employee, but you can search for an employee. Let's say I want to maintain or data for one of the employee who is there in the system. Go search for that employee. The name of the employee is wrongly spelled, so I want to go and update. You go change the employee's name. Okay, let's say I want to change the name of the employee. Here it is John. I'll just update. Save. Okay, next time when I search for this employee, when I go to this employee profile, it will start showing as the, will start showing up the updated name, Dennis John.
Okay.
Now you can see the employee's name has changed, Dennis John. You refresh, it will update it here as well. You see the data got changed. Now this, if it is only for one single employee, you can search for that employee and update. Now, not every employee can do this on their own. Okay. Now, maybe sometimes when you make some changes in the employee data, you may want you may want system to send this request for approval. I want whenever user changes their data, okay, I want system to send this for an approval. Okay, maybe HR has to approve. You see here, submitting personal information change it because I'm changing the name of the employee. Is going to approval. So he is the approver. He is tagged as the approver. So system is sending this request to this person for approval. Once the person approves the request, it comes and updates. Now you see here it is pending approval. So now if you have bulk data which you want to correct, you can upload. But if it is one single employee, you can do it in this. This is generally done by your HR operations, but you should be educating them how to do this. Okay, how to update or how to what fields you want to have, what fields are to be changed. Not everybody in the organization will have access to update the data. So that can be controlled. Who should have access to what data? I can update my own personal information, but I cannot update my colleague's personal information because that's not my data. That's his data. I can look at my salary. I cannot look at my colleague's salary. That's confidential, right? So all of these things we can control it through a module called RBP, which is part of, again, Employee Central, role-based permissions. What an employee can do in the system, what employee cannot see, what employee cannot edit, what employee cannot delete. We can control individual field level. Maybe you and me are working in the same organization, but when I log in, I see these many fields in personal information. But when you log in, you may only see 2 or 3 fields. Okay, so that is controlled through permission. Security. Contractors doesn't need all of the data. They only need some information. Regular employees needs all of the information. So this can be controlled. Okay, so yeah, we'll be doing all of these things in the coming session.
Okay.
So I'll take a pause here and see if you have any questions around the course content or what we are going to do in next coming sessions. Now, we have designed this course in such a way that each and every area of the Employee Central is covered. And it takes 24 or 25 sessions to cover all of these topics. Okay, when I say 24 hours, it is 24 hours, not 24 days. We'll be having sessions Monday to Friday, 1 hour every day, 5 days a week. So it takes 5 weeks to complete this course, 35 to 40 days to complete the course. So as part of the training, you'll be given the configuration material. You don't have to worry about the material. We'll be sharing you the best material available. Every day's recording, those sessions would be recorded and you'll be shared the recording after the sessions. And you'll be given system access for practice. Okay, this would be for initially for 1 month. If required, we can extend. We'll help you out in resume preparation. We'll give you the job assistance wherever wherever we can give the references, we'll be giving you the references. Mock interviews can be conducted if you're ready with your all of the Employee Central content. We can have the mock interview set up, and before you go onto the interviews, you can do that. And then we'll be assisting you in clearing your certifications as well. Okay, this is part of the course content. Okay, over to you all for any kind of questions, clarifications.
Yeah, when Kiran this side,
Yes,
I
Kiran.
have one question. See, if we are certified in SuccessFactors, but that certification is company sponsored. So can we consider that certification for searching a job, or we need to again get certified on our own?
No, maybe your company has sponsored you for your certification, but you have written that examination. That is your certification. Okay. Now, SuccessFactors allows the certification to be done by any individual, or you can also do it through company. Okay. Though you are doing, but that means your company is just sponsoring you because you are an employee of that organization. Okay.
Right.
Now, once you leave the organization, your certificate will still be with you only.
Okay, right. That was my concern.
Yeah.
And second thing, we know this Employee Central is based on which platform? Like just now you said Java, SQL, and all. So this is
No.
based
So
on
we
which
don't see, we don't see anything technically in the front end.
Okay.
So some of these are managed through XML files. Okay. We use XML files.
Okay.
So
Okay.
initially when SuccessFactors started their implementations, like 10 years back when I started my career, we were doing a lot of things in XML. But
Okay.
now in current, as on today, we don't do anything in XML. So all of that is moved to front end configurations only.
Okay. So even XML we don't need to learn
No, we don't. We have one session on XML. Just I'll tell you.
to get a hands-on knowledge.
Just
Yeah.
Just for
Okay.
your reference, I'll give you that knowledge as well.
So everything is on front end. There is no Java,
Everything is
SQL, nothing.
no coding.
No coding. Okay. And third thing is when you see this the second half we had a release. In that we have this AI and everything is there. Since I'm certified, so I know that it's a release is there. So that AI, will you teach how to use AI also?
AI is a licensed version, so not
Okay.
every customer we have
Will
this
have it.
AI enabled. Okay, so this is this can be enabled on a subscription basis. Again, you need to pay something to SAP to get this AI AI working in the SuccessFactors systems. For the demo systems, we don't have the option of enabling the AI.
Okay. So apart from that, other releases latest in Employee
Yes,
Central,
we'll be
latest
going through the release management as well. That's part of course content.
Okay. And any new enhancements you will let us know na, in that release what happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Avenue. So with this training, we will doing the projects as well, right?
No, whatever configuration that we do it like a project only. Okay. So when you get into SuccessFactors implementation, so what are the steps that you need to follow, or how do you do any implementation? Okay. So we'll, from the day one, when you start the practical part, we will be going through all of the different phases of the project. Okay. Like when you start your implementation, you set up a company first. So we do the same thing here also. Okay, where there are certain sequence of steps that we have to follow for implementing for any customer. Okay, SuccessFactors recommends some 18 steps. We'll be going through all of those 18 steps. We'll be creating. Now, the sequence one is now go create a company and add all of these fields into the company. So we go do that. So from step 1 to step 18, we'll be completing all of the steps. It would be like one mini project.
Okay, and when I have experience in SuccessFactors HCM, like incentive compensation module. So how beneficial this course would be for me, like Employee Central?
Employee Central is useful for any module. Every module needs some kind of information from Employee Central.
Okay, so in that also we have position and transaction data, role and relationship. So is it the same?
Yes.
Okay.
RBP is same for all the modules, but different sections you will have to enable to see different configurations.
How different is this tool from the existing app-based HCM, SAP HCM?
See, SuccessFactors is also app-based application. Okay, so SuccessFactors can be installed in your mobile as well. Now,
Actually,
cloud-based and the on-premise. On-premise is your SAP HCM and cloud-based is SuccessFactors. Both of them are owned by SAP now. Okay, SAP HCM is for customers who have who want to have their application on-premise, like they have their own server. Okay, they have their own network, and then everybody is coming to office, and then they have everybody is given a laptop where your SAP GUI is installed, where you will be going and logging into SAP HCM through GUI. Whereas SuccessFactors is for customers, okay, who has their employees in different parts of the world, okay, working from different corners of the world, and access the system without even going to office or without even logging into their network. Okay, because this is a web-based. All that you need is your internet. You should have a proper internet. You're connected to internet, you go type your URL, log into the application using your ID and password, and then you can start either configuring or you can start working on the employee data. When you talk about the advantages, if you know SAP HCM, okay, as SuccessFactors is very, very easy when compared with SAP HCM. So you don't have to remember any info types, you don't have to remember any table names, or you don't have to do the complicated configurations. It is simple, easy to use, easy to learn. Anything you see, it is better than SAP HCM. Any feature you take.
When SAP is stopping support for HCM? Any idea?
I think they have mentioned that somewhere, I think 2030, they're going they have a plan to stop SAP HCM for all customers. They want all the customers to migrate to SAP. Yeah.
Somewhere 2026, 27, it was said.
Not soon, not that soon.
Okay, 2030.
Yeah, I have one question. So this SAP certification, is it mandatory? I mean, like if you are experienced, so I mean, is it mandatory in searching jobs?
Certification is not mandatory. See, every interview that you face, people will ask you whether you are certified or not.
Okay.
But it is not mandatory that you have the certification. You can still say that you are certified. But before getting into job, you need to have your certification in hand.
Okay. So how much does it cost?
It costs you somewhere 20 to 25,000 for one module.
Okay. So we need to do specific to the module, like the SuccessFactors.
Yeah, module specific certification. Whichever module you want, you can.
Okay. And in terms of job openings, so this one has SuccessFactors. How, I mean, comparatively to other modules, so which one is better in terms of job?
See, out of 100 customers, 99 customers will use Employee Central.
Yeah, okay.
So, Employee Central, you'll find more number of opportunities than any other module. Recruiting may not be used by all customers. Maybe 50% of the customers uses only recruitment. Performance management is not used by all customers. Maybe 30 to 40 customers uses performance management. But 89% of customers use Employee Central. So you'll find more opportunities in this module.
Okay. So, I mean, how many years of experience we can put in our resume, like after learning?
2 to 3 years of experience is minimum. To get some calls.
Okay. So after completion of the course, so we can put that experience, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So we'll stop it here, and you can speak to your support team for any kind of queries, and hope to see you all soon in the regular sessions. We are planning to have these sessions starting next week. Yeah, somebody has a doubt. Sorry.
This is Sushil. You guys are going to cover only Employee Central. That's correct, right?
This 24 sessions is only purely on Employee Central.
Understood.
Yeah, we do have other modules training as well. If you want to go
explore
for some other modules, yes, you can.
Understood. Okay, no problem.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch up soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Take care.
Thank you.